Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This video I've been wanting to make for a long time. It's going to be about AI and why I'm not afraid of it as a traditional artist. This is a pretty broad subject, and I know a lot of artists of all sorts of field have felt a lot of anxiety about it, um, about those damn clankers, you know? Um, but there are things that come to mind and with the technology and its purpose and how I view it now um as a more professional painter as I get older, and its place in the world. Um so I'll be jumping back and forth different subjects about like how to use AI like in an ethical way, um, as an artist. Some people might say there's no ethical place for it because of the nature of um, its training, the theft and things like that, and the issues it has when it comes to copyright, and also like I guess how to use it as a tool in a business sense to help you if you're like me where you're an artist and it's a business and you're also your own like star employee and what comes with that and how I've used it to help me plan certain things, mostly item descriptions actually. But I'm not really ashamed to say that because AI as a tool is good for SEO, and then you just use it to make the rest of the clanker algorithmic output what it needs to be so that you get more traffic. Um, but that's sort of like technical, whatever, boring business jargon. What's actually important to me when it comes to the AI debate is thinking about the function of art, right? And the place it has in society. A lot of people will see art as like a decoration, and that's okay. Like that's why I have paintings everywhere, to beautify a space. But there's layers too, where what is the artist doing when they're drawing, right? Stuff like that, where that's a meditative practice and you're pulling from a source. Um, you're working through, a lot of artists will use their painting and whatever form of art, sculpture too, as a form of transmutation, right? That you're trying to break out of certain psychological loops, or you're trying to show yourself a part of yourself that's been hidden or tucked away. And so art as a function for like the psyche, how it sublimates the road between the psyche and then your shadow and puts it in plain sight for you to see, like to see your own inner working. Um, it's so strange because I don't see this kind of like brought up. I see the debates about art being manufactured and AI making that easier for bigger companies, but we're already kind of seeing like a trend downwards because it's just cannibalizing itself. So this is coming on the tail end of having a pretty productive summer, but I took a break from social media a bit. Didn't want to post. Had my concerns about some of my designs and things being ripped off the internet, and how I actually felt about it. And basically this came about because for a minute I wanted to know my enemy type of thing with AI and stable diffusion and those different image generating AI programs. And so basically I kind of taught myself stable diffusion, did the whole thing, got it set up, trained it on different things, did that for like a week, made whatever images I wanted, tried to actually imitate my own style. I trained it on some of my own art as well, which I thought would be a pretty cool thing. Like, oh, I'll integrate this. Um, it's something I'm going to have to do because all this about AI being so big. And so, I jumped on the bandwagon and tried to figure it out. And it was really boring. Like, really boring. There is a moment like of excitement when the image generates and you see it, but most of the time it's wrong and you have to like do maths on it and you have to make little edits and regenerations to get it to be something halfway decent. And even then it's still like an AI production, even if it's trained on your own art. So there came a point after like a week or so where I stopped doing it because I just was like, this isn't why I like to paint, or it's not meditative. It doesn't do anything for me. Whatever it's pulling from isn't sublimating my own need to understand myself, right? Because that's what art's for. It's you're attempting to get closer to reality and to know the things inside you, like your shadow and those like, I guess, darker things that everyone has. It's meant to bridge that from the psyche, the shadow, to the human consciousness. And AI simply can't do it, at least not yet. But that's the one element that makes a person, that makes an art piece capture your gaze and pulls you in, because it's speaking to whatever that artist had that they were going through, and whatever that painting helped them heal by making it is reflected like a mirror into the viewer. And a great problem with the AI is it's simply not, even if the person inputting has certain things they want to work on or they think it's healing them, they're not creating it with their hand, because that hand connection with creation is like super important. It does a lot for your like mental health and stuff like that. And it's a curious thing too, how downtrodden a lot of artists are getting, because a lot of people, it's, I gotta make a living doing this. And very much what helped me was getting back to like why I like art. And as I got disenchanted with like stable diffusion and learning it and taking a step back and being like, this is so boring and I'm not sharing my art anywhere because this is what's like regurgitating it. It's actually not all that like fancy to begin with. And I think that was the biggest shock, is I was like, oh, I thought this would be so like so masterful or something. And it really is just like a manufacturing of an image. It's cutesy. It could have its use, but I think what I'm seeing now is the trend of AI is trending away from image, because of things like what I'm talking about, how it's the role of the artist to bridge certain gaps in the human psyche. And that's not like a quantifiable, like, you can't see it, it's not making, it does make money sometimes, but it makes it in a certain, in the background as it changes society and moves things along. To break it down, if the function of art is to cross that bridge between the human shadow and the psyche and to progress like the human spirit into a more unified state, when a child is drawing or like someone's painting or they're dancing, they're sort of, the intention is to release their inhibition and either be put into like a meditative state. It's just for fun, things like that. Whereas purely manufactured art from AI has very real and obvious limitations when you're viewing the artistic process properly. I think what happened was a lot of I guess the tech bros and stuff started viewing it as like, ooh, we could save so much time. But I think a lot of times actually been wasted by trying to integrate this thing that is the human's job. AI is good for many other things, coding, and I use it for business reasons too, as like a little assistant. It's pretty funny. Thanks, Chat GBT. But it doesn't need to be in the role of like creator. That's how I'm viewing it. Well, I'm not like afraid or worried about. It is a shame like what the industry's gone through for like graphic design and animation and people getting fired over like the hopes of like shareholders and things. That's like an awful thing. But whether it's a bubble that's gonna pop or it's just a slow realization that one of my favorite memes about it is like, oh, thanks for AI for showing people that the human soul is real by by showing like all this slop that it's making. And I've heard all these arguments about, oh, artists do the same thing. You'll look at something and you'll borrow an idea, and great artists steal, and but that's proverbial. That's just like human. Like, you didn't make a mountain, so you see a mountain and you want to draw it. Like it's different from actually trying to what you're doing when you do that as an artist is you're trying to understand reality. You're trying to get closer to reality, whereas the AI has no like sentience to get close to. Yeah. One of the bigger concerns I actually have about it is because this sort of creative cyclone, or this creative like cycle, isn't happening as much because AI has replaced like the common artist in certain industries. It's slowly like led to a stagnation of that creative output of emotional and spiritual like growth that has been the constant since like the 1400s, 1500s, Renaissance upward. It's been as science progresses too, it's progressed alongside art and that need for human expression and what it's actually doing for society. And it is a rather like shadowy thing that isn't talked about too much, because how can you talk about it? You go to a museum, you go see a movie, you play a video game, but what makes you do that is it's not always like just escaping reality. It's also some of the best forms of entertainment, like books or a movie. You find something within yourself in that piece, and it's like a mirror. And so this process, because some art is being put out there that has no mirror, it has no reflective quality. It's just a production or a manufactured thing, which has its function as decoration, but it's not serving its purpose for the human race. It's kind of yeah. So this is not to sound too lofty or something. I probably am right now, but it is a concern that not just business wise, but like this creative cycle that humans go through to help themselves feel better about existing has kind of stagnated or grind. Maybe, I don't want to say it's halted completely, because there's still artists doing their things, and even myself, where I was like, I'm taking a break. I don't want to be posting. I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to be stolen from, blah, blah, blah. And then I got over it after learning Stable Diffusion and realizing how boring it was and stuff like that. I kind of was like, oh, what they say, know your enemy. and know yourself and things like that, it did help to actually see what this AI, like how it works, what people are doing, why some of the AI tech bros think it's like, oh, this is the best thing ever. But even someone like that isn't like not thinking in an artistic way anyway about what the painter or sculptor or director or author or musician, what they're actually doing for society. And I hope the stagnation comes to an end. Like maybe there's a slow wake up about it. Like, all right, we should be pushing AI for practical reasons, which I think it's very good at. Yeah, for business application, and I use it too, like I said, for product descriptions and SEO, like search stuff. Just if you're if you're a solo creator, it is helpful, but it's simply I don't think its job is gonna be for image creation for much longer, and that's my opinion about it. But that's why I'm not afraid of AI either. So anyway, to close the video, I'd say keep your hopes up. I know the job market for everyone right now is pretty awful, especially if you're like graphic design, like stuff I'm studying. But remember what you got into the art for and what it's doing for you when you make it. And one of the big arguments was always, if the process is more important than the finished product, then, like the process is meaningless. And I just think that's such a, like logical fallacy, because the whole of your life is a process. You have a whole lot of reasons, if you really take a step back, to not be afraid of AI, to be aware and to understand that business, and to learn how to do your own thing. But for me, I've sunk more into my own enjoyment of art for why I got into it, like as a child, and how much it's helped me. So yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. I'll try and be more like, I'm not a fan of the whole script thing and like here's 5 reasons, but I'm gonna try and be more organized. But sometimes I just get a lot of ideas and I'm like, I need to tell someone, so that's what these videos are for. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, helps a lot, and see you next time.